February 21st, 2026. The Signum Battalion of the Ukrainian forces launched a counterstrike against Russian troops in the Lyman sector. Attempting to advance toward Ukrainian defensive lines in a scattered formation, the Russian soldiers struggled to defend themselves. They suffered heavy casualties during the assault, and it wasn't just the personnel. Their temporary trenches and field positions were also systematically targeted and destroyed. Soldiers trying to use trees as natural cover still failed to escape the strikes. Because these UAVs possess such high maneuverability, these types of defenses have become completely ineffective. This strike targets a Russian soldier caught in a completely open field. He fires his rifle repeatedly in a desperate attempt to fend off the attack. However, lacking the specialized equipment needed, he fails to strike down such a small, high-speed aerial threat. February 20th, 2026. In an open field, a Russian soldier, spotted by Ukrainian forces, struggled desperately to survive an incoming strike. With no trenches or natural cover in sight, his only sanctuary was a single utility pole. He attempted to fight back by circling the pole and firing his weapon in a frantic effort to stay alive. However, after a prolonged and harrowing pursuit, he could not escape the inevitable and ultimately became a target. A soldier attempting to find cover under a bridge became a sitting duck. After being targeted, he could do nothing but wait in total despair. February 19th, 2026. Russian personnel continue to fall victim to relentless aerial strikes across the front lines. Through coordinated operations by Magyar's Birds and the Kraken unit, scores of Russian troops have been neutralized in and around the Donetsk region. A striking pattern has emerged from these engagements. Many of these soldiers appear isolated and undertrained, left with no tactical response other than to run blindly as the strikes close in. In the face of such high-precision technology, traditional infantry movement has turned into a desperate struggle for survival. Across a front line stretching thousands of kilometers, Russian units continue to move in a state of total disarray. It appears as though these personnel were merely handed rifles and ordered to advance blindly, with no clear tactical doctrine. It remains a mystery why the Russian command has persisted with such costly and disorganized maneuvers for years, seemingly disregarding the massive loss of life and equipment. Two Russian soldiers returning to their positions on an ATV came under sudden attack. Although they scattered in different directions to survive, one of them couldn't manage to escape the lethal precision of the strike. In the northern sectors of the Donetsk Oblast, Russian troops advancing in military vehicles were targeted by the 12th Special Forces Brigade, Azov. While these off-road vehicles are built for the rugged terrain, their greatest disadvantage remains their total lack of protection against incoming aerial strikes. Speed and mobility can compensate for a total lack of armor? Or has heading to the front in these light vehicles officially become a suicide mission? Aerial reconnaissance first spotted two Russian troops moving through a wooded area near the village of Udashnoye. The surveillance soon revealed a hidden dugout where they were attempting to take cover. A precision aerial strike was launched immediately, neutralizing the entrance of the fortification with high-yield explosives. Following the blast, a Ukrainian assault team moved in on foot to clear the position, with every second of the operation monitored from above in real time. This high-level coordination by the 425th Skala Separate Assault Regiment continued across the sector. Just meters away, multiple Russian dugouts were systematically targeted and cleared in the exact same manner. February 18th. In a desolate area of the Donetsk region, near Ukrainian defensive lines, a lone Russian soldier was detected on an isolated road. A strike was launched immediately. Strangely, the soldier seemed to completely ignore the approaching threat. Perhaps he didn't even hear the sound. Without showing any concern or reaction, he simply continued walking along the road until he became a target. At the very last second, the Russian soldier appeared to glance back, but it was already too late. The target this time is a Russian unmanned ground vehicle, UGV. These robotic systems are deployed across the front lines for logistics support or surveillance and reconnaissance missions. An unarmed Russian soldier was targeted while caught in the open. With no cover in sight and no way to escape the approaching aerial threat, he became a target in a matter of seconds. A lone Russian soldier was detected navigating one of the most dangerous sectors of the front line. Unaware that he was being monitored from hundreds of meters above, he was tracked for an extended period to see if he would reveal any hidden fortifications or dugouts. However, the decision to strike was made when the soldier stopped to rest under a tree. A high-speed aerial system maneuvered through the branches and made a direct impact, leaving the soldier with no chance to escape. Ukrainian forces detected a Tornado-S multiple rocket launcher system in the Zaporizhzhia region. The high-value rocket launcher system, which was detected firing long-range 300mm rockets at Ukrainian defense positions, was completely neutralized in a short time. A large explosion occurred, along with the ammunition it was carrying. February 21st, this attack occurred during a routine reconnaissance mission. Despite hiding under a tree in an almost invisible position, the Russian soldier was successfully detected from hundreds of meters away. The accuracy of the detection left him no time to react. In his final moments, the Russian soldier actually had the most suitable weapon for the air threat, a hunting rifle, but he did not fire due to panic. For the Ukrainian forces, the distinction between day and night has effectively vanished. In the Zaporizhzhia Oblast, the 414th Separate Unmanned Strike Aviation Brigade, widely known as Magyar's Birds, launched a devastating nocturnal operation, targeting Russian troops who believed the cover of darkness would provide safety. The brigade utilized advanced thermal optics to track their every move. Most of the Russian personnel were struck down before they could even realize where the threat was coming from. In the vicinity of Berezivka, within the Kiev region, aerial reconnaissance successfully uncovered a Russian T-72B that had been carefully concealed among the tree line. Despite the attempt to hide the heavy armor under natural cover, the position was quickly compromised. Shortly after detection, a surgical artillery strike was called in, delivering a direct hit that completely obliterated the tank. This successful engagement demonstrates the lethal synergy between high-altitude surveillance and precision long-range firepower, leaving no room for heavy Russian hardware to remain hidden on the modern battlefield. Ukrainian forces have successfully neutralized numerous Russian military vehicles. A recurring pattern has emerged where Russian personnel leave their equipment completely vulnerable and exposed. Capitalizing on this negligence, Ukrainian units are swiftly destroying these assets, turning the oversight into a decisive advantage. As they lose their means of transport and mobility, Russian troops are becoming increasingly isolated and weakened across the front lines. Are Russian soldiers completely demoralized, or is this a sign that fuel and logistics have completely collapsed? In the southern Slobozhansky direction, the Border Guard Brigade Hart has successfully decimated a critical Russian logistics base and ammunition depot. This high-precision operation was carried out using advanced fiber optic guided systems, which remain immune to electronic warfare. The resulting explosions effectively neutralized the site, severing a vital supply line for Russian forces in the sector. Ukrainian forces have executed a high-stakes strike, hitting critical coordinates deep within Russian territory. Reports confirm that FP-5 Flamingo missiles have struck the Votkinsk region, the primary production hub for Russia's Iskander missile systems. In the Havrolivka direction, the Morok Battalion of the 5th Heavy Mechanized Brigade has delivered a crippling blow to Russian field operations. By pinpointing and obliterating key Russian communication hubs, the battalion has effectively blinded Russian units in the sector. This strategic destruction prevents the coordination of reinforcements and leaves the opposing forces isolated and unable to respond to ongoing Ukrainian advances. As Russian forces continue to weaken on the front lines, Ukrainian forces have increased their attacks and operations. The priority is to launch attacks in areas where Russian forces are weak and force them to retreat. Secondly, to carry out attacks that neutralize costly military equipment. The Ukraine-Russia war continues with full force on the front lines. Strategy and technology are rewriting the rules of modern warfare every single day. Ukraine continues to dismantle Russian assets piece by piece, proving that nowhere on the map is truly safe anymore.